Alright, this is the extra credit 1 assignment, and I'm about to explain the code. Alright, first off, this is the code that uh, turns basically an input. It has a parameter as inches that is put in by the user, and it turns it into centimeters. So the first line of code obviously defines the function, sets the parameter as inches, and then the next line is just a simple equation: centimeters equals 2.54 times inches, and then you print centimeters. And I have the call to action commented out. I'll unindent it right here, or uncomment it, and then I can run it. Let's see if everything else is good. Okay. And we'll run. Yep, that is correct. 5 inches is equal to 12.7 centimeters. Okay, so that's correct. All right, I'm gonna comment it out really quick. Go on to the next one, and this one takes the whole feet from, obviously, because it says right there. It takes the whole feet from a parameter of inches. So first, or the second line, it defines feet as being the integer that you get, the integer, because int, that you get from dividing inches by 12. Inches by 12 basically just is feet, and then this turns it into an integer. And then I print f of t. So if this is all right, it should divide the inches, any inches I get, say 14 by 2, or by 12, which in this case is going to be 1 point whatever, and then it's going to truncate it to just being 1. Okay, let's see if this works. Comment out. Oops. One more time. All right. Yep, correct. Perfect. All right, next line of code. What this one is going to do is it's going to take the leftover inches that I get from whatever value of inches I get, that turns into a, uh, a feet value. So what it does is basically it divides the amount of inches by the number of whole feet, and then gets me the remainder. So it's very simple. What I have this line first. This is the feet that I get. That's the integer value, and that's just the same as this line of code. It's the integer value of the whole number of feet I get per my parameter inches, and then this one right here is the exact amount of feet I get, which is going to be a whole number followed by a decimal place. So just in plain English, it's inches divided by 12. And then how many feet I have left, it's going to be just a decimal point, because it's going to be exact minus int, which is going to be just some decimal point value. And then inches left basically takes that feet value, that's a decimal point, and turns it into a inches value by multiplying it by 12. And what I did was I added 0.0001 to account for any kind of rounding error that the Python was going to create, so that it would just simply truncate and not round up or round down. And I just printed left. Let's see if it works. Oops, I did the same thing. Alright. Alright. Okay, 2113. Yep, that's correct. That is correct. It returns 9 inches off of, or returns 9 inches left off of 21,103 inches. Yep, everything works correctly. Alright. Next one. This one does something very similar. Well, it basically does the same thing as the whole feet from inches, except in meters. It returns the whole number of meters from an amount of centimeters. And so basically the only difference in the code is the meters from this one to this one, and the centimeters from this part to this part. All right, very simple modification. Let's see how we do here. Yep, all right. And that's exactly right. That's how many uh, meters you get from this amount of centimeters, 13, obviously. All right, let's comment this out. All right, and this one's the basically the equivalent of this line of code, which is my leftover inches, except this one is in centimeters once again. So the only difference between these two codes is that this is in centimeters versus this is in inches, and this is in meters versus this is in feet. That's the only change that I made. So I'm just going to run it because it's very self-explanatory. Should return 35. Yep, because this is a number divisible only by 100 once, and then you return 35 more centimeters after that. All right, that's correct. Comment out. And finally, the table value. So this table value uses basically all of these functions, the remaining the remaining, then whole number from, leftover, and whole feet from, and it uses it as one giant code that allows me to print a table of feet, inches, meters, and centimeters. Inches being going from 0 to 60, and then feet going in whole numbers, meters going in whole numbers, and then centimeters from the inches. And so basically, uh, the code has to compile all of the things that my code did above here into one program, which is a table of inches that go from 0 to 60, but return only whole inches. And from those inches, you set the whole number of feet, set the whole number of meters from those centimeter values that are from the inches. So it obviously should look something like this if you're using 0 to 60 in 2.5 increments. Let me explain the code real quick. So basically this defines feet, this defines centimeters, this defines meters, very simple stuff just from before. Feet is the integer value of inches divided by 12, and then centimeters is 2.45 times inches, meters is integer times centimeter. This basically all it does is it creates the whole number of meters and the full number of feet for the table. Then this, which is a code I used right here, allows me to have the leftover inches, which is going to print in this side of the table, and then this this code right here, which I used right here in remaining centimeters, allows me to have the meters amounts I would post right here. So, and then I used a string format for my table buildings because it's so much easier. It just basically says 0 is the placeholder for, or not the placeholder, the table value for the feet in my table, and then 1 is the value of inches, 2 is the value of meters, and 3 is the values of centimeters. Basically what it means is that it's going to be printed in respect with 1 being right here, 2 being right here, all the values here, and then 3 and then 4, and then the space just creates a space between them. And then, yeah, it's a much easier way to format tables. And basically if I have 4 of these values, 0 to 3, I must have 4 format values as well in my parens right here, and I do 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just feet, and then I explained before the inches left, and the meters and the centimeters left. And so if I put 0 to 60 in 3, it should return a table that is similar to the other table. Let's see. And perfect. So what it does, it goes 0, 3, 6, 9, and then it stops. It goes to 0 again because there's 12 inches in a foot, obviously. That returns 1 whole foot with a remainder of 0 inches. Then it does the same thing over and over again because 3 is divisible by 12. obviously. It keeps going until it hits the point of 60 inches, and then perfect. All right, you understand, yeah? Because it's gonna be 4 times 12, which is 48. I'm sorry, 4 times yeah, correct. Okay. And then for this value, it goes from 0 to 100, which is the highest value of centimeters for 1 whole meter, and then it stops and turns into 1 whole meter, and then remainder 6.68 in this situation. And this table works perfectly. It goes from 0 to 60, returns all values, and the table looks fine. All right, that's it. Thank you.